ladies. Okay, so I am going to attempt to record this video with my husband's headphones in hope that you can hear me better until I figure out a better camera to use to film these videos. I am going to be talking about food today. The food that I had on hand, that I had to have on hand when I was low carb. Well, I'm low carb now, but when I was low fat and as being low carb. I'll start with low fat because, like I've been saying forever, I don't feel like you have to be low carb to lose weight. You just need to know what to do and what to eat while being low fat. When I was low fat, I knew that I needed a protein, a vegetable, and a fruit. Oh, and a starch, like a carb. And so the main ones that I would keep in my house would be chicken breast, shrimp, fish, and turkey or ground turkey. Oh, and bacon. Those are my meats. So those are the main meats that I would suggest you keeping on hand. Always had eggs on hand. And when I was low fat, I would eat. So my omelet would consist of maybe 3 egg whites, 1 whole egg. That would be, what the eggs I would use in my omelet. And then I would add like turkey bacon, spinach, stuff like that. So that's just kind of a rule of thumb. I mean, you can tweak that how you want to. What else? I would also say my vegetables, I always had lettuce for salad. So I would just buy the bag of salad or lettuce or whatever because it was just convenient. I always had spinach because I always ate spinach in my omelets. I also use my spinach for salads. And I always had zucchini. I kept a bag of frozen broccoli. I would go to Walmart or whatever and buy the large bag of bird's eye broccoli, and I would, just take some out, put it over in a microwavable bowl, microwave it, But I always had broccoli, always had zucchini, always had spinach, and I just really got into asparagus, so I didn't eat a lot of asparagus back then. Cabbage is another good one. So those I would say definitely need, have on hand. As far as bread, when I did eat bread, it would be the wheat flat out bread, or it would definitely be a flat bread. And I would also eat the wheat sandwich thins or sandwich. They would be the thin, like they look like hamburger buns or something, but they're real thin. I ate the Nature's Own kind. That would be the bread I would have on hand. I only had brown rice when I ate rice, and I would use the Uncle Ben's in the little container that it comes in. I could pop it in the microwave, 45 seconds to a minute, done. That was so easy. Servings for one, easy and convenient. That was my goal back then. Well, it's still my goal now. Quinoa, I eat quinoa. When I eat quinoa, I cook mine in a rice cooker, and I didn't cook it in water. I cooked it in chicken broth, like low sodium chicken broth or vegetable broth. That's how I made my quinoa, because quinoa, it absorbs the flavor from the broth. I've had it in water, and I mean, when you cook it in water, you gotta add. I prefer broth in mine. And I cooked my meat, so I was either baking or like sauteing or whatever on top of the stove, and I would cook it in olive oil. I never use Pam Even when I made my eggs or whatever, I would use either olive oil or butter. Like I've always used real butter. I can't believe it's not butter, because I can believe it's not butter, because it's not butter. I I try to stick to, you'll notice, I try to stick to real food, not processed. I try to limit as much processed food as I can. Um, and I really do think that's what has helped me the most, um, sticking to a little amount of processed food. Um, and I think that's it. I only drunk water. I still only drink water from time to time. Like on Thanksgiving, my soda. I had a soda, and I didn't even drink it all. I gave it to my son. Um, my birthday, Valentine's, I think I had, like some sangria or whatever. I'm not an alcohol drinker. People ask me about that a lot. I don't really drink alcohol. I'll have some sangria. I'm thinking about having some at my holiday party next week. I look forward to my sangria. Okay, now being low carb. Low carb is, I think it's any I think it's when you eat 150 grams of carbs or less a day. So, whereas I do about 25, I am still trying to get it higher, but I'm not going to really focus on that until I get back into the gym. But you don't have to be as low as I am, especially if you're working out and doing a lot, of rigorous workouts and stuff like that. So you can be low carb and still eat fruit. You can still have your banana a day, or you can still have, your apples, your oranges and stuff like that. But let that be your carb. Let that give you your energy. Um, Meat, you can have any meat. Okay. You can have the steak you want. Obviously, that's what I eat the most. You can have your pork chop. You can have your real bacon. You can have lamb. You can have, your shrimp, your steak, you can have meat. Meat doesn't have carbs in it. We add that with sauces and stuff like that. So eat your meat. Then your vegetable. I prefer green leafy vegetables, or just green vegetables in general. So if you look at my timeline, my hashtag Rissoire Eats, you would see I eat a lot of broccoli. I eat a lot of lettuce, asparagus, spinach, um, zucchini. I don't eat as much zucchini anymore. Cabbage, so you'll see me eating a lot of that. Those are my carbs, because vegetables have carbs. So when you hear people say no carb, yeah, you're eating carbs. Carbs are in vegetables. They're just not as much carbs in vegetables. Um, My fruit, I tend to go towards berries because they're lower in carbs. So strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. But you can definitely have a banana if you need to, like pre-workout. You can have, um, your apples, your sweet potato. You can have that stuff. Just try to stay, like, if you're going to switch to low carb, you don't have, like I said, you don't have to go as low as I did, because your body is switching over to eating like that. You're going to still lose weight, especially if you're working out. So I actually encourage you to eat more carbs than I do, because I don't do as much as I used to. And once I start back, you'll see that I will be increasing my fruit intake and stuff like that. I am going to try to start eating sweet potatoes for my carbs and stuff like that, because my body is going to need it. I do eat nuts, but I'm starting to think that some nuts don't agree with me. I love pecans and sunflower seeds, but walnuts is another good nut, because that's where you get your healthy fats. Um, but I'm thinking that nuts don't agree with me, because I bloat after, and I have this uncomfortable feeling. Um, what else? Your healthy fats, because you hear me say low carb, high fat all the time. High fat means, it doesn't mean that you're just going to have this big glob of fat on your plate. No, when I say more fat, my burger, my Bubba burger is going to have more fat than your turkey burger. That's fat. That's higher fat. When I cook my eggs in butter, that's going to have more fat than your Pam spray. When I eat my nuts, that's more fat, and those are healthy fats. When I add avocado on top of my burger or to whatever, that's my fat. Those are healthy fats. So that's what I mean. Olive oil, that's a healthy fat. That's what I mean by high fat. I don't mean I'm eating fat. Got it? What else? Oh, when I was low fat, I did eat cereal, but I only ate multigrain Cheerios, and I drank it. I ate it with reduced fat milk. I think it was a 2% milk. It wasn't skim milk or anything. Now, if I was to drink milk, I would do whole milk because of the fat. But yeah, I don't drink milk like that. I do have ice cream occasionally, very rare, but I do have ice cream. It's upsetting to my stomach, but I like ice cream, so I have to really want it. And I hope that answered a lot of your questions. If you have more, definitely ask, and I'll try to answer for you. I want to go back. This video is kind of long, so I want to tell you again. I want to stress how important I think it is to stick to whole foods, not the store, but the foods in general. Try to make all your foods come from the outside part of the grocery store. You know, go to the meat counter, go to the vegetable and fruit section. You know, I rarely go inside in the middle part of the grocery store for myself. What else did I want to talk about? Someone asked me if it was expensive to be low carb, and I think that's a question. I don't think I can necessarily answer that question, because what's expensive to me may not be expensive to you. What's expensive to you may not be expensive to me. For instance, my oxtails the other day that I was eating cost me $30. And I ate them for breakfast and for lunch. Would you go spend $30 on meat? I don't know. You know, I don't know if that's feasible for you. But I do think we have the ability to eat healthy on any budget. I do know it's cheaper to eat unhealthy. That's the sad thing, but I do think we have the ability to eat as healthy as we can on any budget. It's just a matter of planning. You know, it's a matter of figuring out your actual budget and working within that budget and figuring out what foods you can, you know, get into. And I find frozen vegetables being very inexpensive compared to buying them fresh. You can also get them on sale and stuff like that. I find buying the larger packs of meat, you know, like chicken breast and turkey. I find that, you know, I ate chicken breast a lot when I first started out. Even low carb, you can eat chicken breast. You don't have to eat steak like me. You don't have to eat oxtails like me. You don't have to eat pork chop. You can eat shrimp or tilapia or your chicken breast. You know, those cost less. So, yeah, I hope that answered many questions. If you have more, ask me. And use my hashtag #RissoireEats. That is where I list all my foods. I share my food. Is my hashtag. You might see 2 people that has used it to tell people to look at my hashtag, but that's my hashtag, and that's where I share all my foods. Okay, this video is long. Gotta go.